Do you wish that all things wealth and finance were much easier to understand and not presented by a bunch of beige cardigan-wearing geeks? Welcome to the Clever Investor Podcast, where we're dishing up the easiest to understand finance program served in bite-sized chunks, so your brain will thank you as your knowledge grows. Hosted by the brilliant Owen Taylor, a multiple award-winning expert with a glorious knack for explaining the complex world of wealth in the simplest of ways.
Hey Clever Investors, and welcome to another show. I don't think there's ever been a time in history, certainly as long as money's been around, where at some point in our lives somebody's needed money urgently. And they've had to give up something valuable as collateral to borrow some money. This practice marked the beginnings of what we now know as pawnbroking, a service that has evolved over more than 3,000 years to become what we know of it today. My late grandparents and my mother were part of the pawnbroking world in London, England, from really the 1940s into the 1970s. They understood the value of lending a helping hand during times of need. In their small pawnbroking shop near Tower Bridge in southeast London, they provided a very important lifeline to people who required immediate funds, but didn't want to part ways with some of their cherished belongings forever. Now, this concept was rooted in a mutual support, and it echoes the origins of pawnbroking throughout history. So today, let's take a short journey through the history to understand how pawnbrokers have transformed into the modern services that they are now. Pawnbroking's ancient roots date well back over 3,000 years. It's said to have started in and around China. In the early civilizations, people, even then, faced times where they needed immediate cash, but didn't want to necessarily permanently part with some cherished belongings. So they turned to pawnbrokers. Now, these brokers lent money in exchange for items like jewellery, maybe some farming tools, and even, in the early days, weapons. The borrower could later come and reclaim their belongings by repaying the loan, along with a little bit of extra money as the interest payment. As societies evolved, so did pawnbroking. During the Middle Ages and the Renaissance periods, pawnbroking established itself as an actual formal trade. It was a way for people in all walks of life to secure a quick, easy loan without selling something permanently. These pawn shops became important community institutions, providing financial assistance and acting as a social safety net. I remember my mother telling me about the regulars that would come into the pawn shop in London. It might be something where they'd run out of money just for a short period of time until the next paycheck, or it may be the sad side of this where unfortunately the husband would go and spend all of the paycheck in the pub before he made it home. Remembering in those days, in the 1940s, money wasn't put straight into the bank from your pay packet. It was given to you in cash. So if someone passed by the pub and got a little bit too carried away, it could leave the family short of money to buy the essential things like food. So what would happen is mother would pop into the pawnbroker's office and normally hand over father's Sunday best suit. She'd pawn the item, she'd get some cash, she'd get the family through the week. Hopefully, dad would then bring back the paycheck in full the next week, and she would be able to squirrel away some of the money from that, pop back down to the pawnbrokers, pay back the loan, reclaim the suit, and the family and the father would know nothing of the better. The Industrial Revolution brought significant changes to pawnbroking. As economies grew and urban centres developed, the demand for quick loans increased. Pawnbrokers then adapted by setting up shops in busy city areas, making their services more accessible to a much larger population. In recent times, pawnbroking has become much more regulated and structured. Governments have introduced laws to protect both the borrowers and the lenders, ensuring fair practices. Modern pawn shops offer a range of services beyond just the loans. They sometimes buy items outright from people who wish to sell them, and they also sell pre-owned items. This modernisation has turned pawn shops into versatile financial and retail establishments. From the pawnbroker's point of view, they've got to assess the amount of loan that they're going to give against the item. They've got to consider various factors, with crucial elements being the anticipated resale value of the item, just in case the person doesn't come back and repay all the loan. Throughout history, pawnbrokers have served a lifeline for individuals facing financial challenges. The essence of the service remains the same, providing quick access to funds while using personal possessions as collateral. What has changed is this level of professionalism, regulation, and also the variety of services offered. The traditional symbol of a pawnbroker's shop is 3 golden balls which are suspended from a bar. Next time you're passing a pawnbroking shop, have a look on the front of it. Nowadays, it's often represented with a lot of them as just a sticker or part of the symbol of it. Pawnbrokers today still provide a valuable option for those seeking quick loans. Pop into a pawnbroker shop sometime, have a look around. They often have some very interesting equipment. Times have changed, and the core function of helping individuals during financial difficulties still remains at the heart of the pawnbroking industry. I hope you've enjoyed this week's edition of the Clever Investor podcast. If you liked it, please hit the like button, tell your friends about it. It's a wonderful way of us growing our community. Let us know your thoughts, and I'll see you again next week for another edition of the Clever Investor podcast.
You have been listening to the Clever Investor podcast, proudly sponsored this week by Blue Wealth Property. Are you ready to start a new investment journey? Get in touch with the industry leaders, Blue Wealth Property. Blue Wealth have a proven track record in using research to identify growth markets, and Blue Wealth have supported thousands of Australians to buy the right property in the right market at the right time. Go to bluewealth.com.au.